Hello and welcome to the mid-month episode of the Great British Mickey Waffle. Happy New Year, everybody. I can't believe...
It's 2023!
I know!
How does that happen?
I do not know.
We've made it! We've made it through 2022!
Okay, Claire, did you do your resolution of seeing Phantasmic?
I did.
You did?
I did do it in December, I did.
Brilliant.
I made sure, I took a friend and we did it.
Oh,
and I'll talk about it another time.
I know, it's... Do you know what? We've come back from our lovely trip in December.
It was amazing.
Christmas.
We're covered
Walt
in
Disney
jet lag.
World. Oh, this is a fun show to record. Still jet lagged, of course. But we're not alone this evening.
We're never alone, let's face it.
We're not allowed on our own. That's
right.
the thing.
No.
It's so yeah. We are joined by some incredible friends to talk about a topic that I think we talked about this before. I don't think we have.
Not in depth.
Not in much detail.
I think we've mentioned it. We've sort of thought about
danced around the
talking about
subject
it.
a couple of times.
But we've not been there, so we don't really know everything about it. So we're going to be talking about Hawaii and Aulani.
So does this mean we're bringing in the
Yes.
experts?
Again?
Yeah,
These people are back.
I know.
They are.
Who would have... Oh, okay. Well...
Claire, you were in charge of inviting people, or we left the door unlocked. I'm not sure which.
I think the latter, probably.
They're here for the free drinks and the orphaners' arms, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's it. The free drinks and the cheese and chive pretzels. Yeah. That's how it works.
Okay, so let's bring in Robyn and Simon, what's also known as Watson's Do Disney. Hello.
Hello. Back again.
Fucking Aulani ears ready for...
I'm ready. Can you tell what we're talking about today?
It's fantastic.
I can't wait. This is going to be such fun. And we also are joined by... my brain's just gone. You know, like his name. It's got his name, even though it's there.
Someone like...
You haven't forgotten.
Do you know what? I'm so glad. I'm so glad that was you and not me.
I'm learning from Claire.
No, not at all.
We are joined by a microphone.
Oh, I'm sorry, we're supposed to be here?
Who are you? Who's that?
A random guy in a Hawaiian shirt.
So it's just for music. Jason is here for the music. So if I didn't know, we were being joined by...
You remembered his name,
Yes.
yes?
Jason from Here With The Magic.
I was checking on my roasted pig.
So
Oh.
how are we all? It's New Year and we're all here to talk about Hawaii and Aulani.
Did everyone have a nice Christmas?
It was wonderful. So the kittens kept us on our toes.
And the tree still was the tree still standing?
Sounds like... Sounds like you... I thought you were going to burst into an Elton John song or something there a minute there, Ben. I was like...
Not last one, yeah. Oh. This is how the show is going to go.
dear.
You can clearly tell that we've recorded this New Year's Eve.
There you go.
The drinks are flowing and...
I mean,
think that
I'd
might
like
have
to
gone
point
better.
out that in New Year's Eve we were on a plane, so...
The Wi-Fi's very good on it, Lucas.
And it looks straight
Better than
like
mine.
on our studio.
Oh, well, let's talk about Aulani. Let's talk about Hawaii. And again, I know last month we talked about San Francisco. And when I planned our massive, exciting trip in 2020, we were doing 5-6 days in San Francisco, driving down to LA. We had 4 or 5 days at Disneyland. And then we were going to jump on a plane. You know, it was all very idyllic and we had most of it booked. Jump on a plane over to Hawaii, and we were going to do, I think, 3 days on the Big Island and then another 4 days at Aulani before flying back via New York. So that was our grand plan. It still is my grand plan, let's face it. But when it happens is when it happens. But I know that Robyn and Simon, you went to Hawaii in September when you were over in the West Coast area. Jason, I know you've been to Aulani twice.
A couple times, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was by myself.
Is it worth? Oh wow! Okay, so that's quite impressive. My first question is it worth the effort to get there? Because you know what, for us here in the UK, it's not just round the corner. Funnily enough, it's a bit of a trek. But is it worth it?
100%. Absolutely.
Oh,
I know you don't have so far to go, Jason, but from here, it's worth it. However, I will say, a lot of people I know just plan to do what you were suggesting, Claire, and then just go over to Aulani, stay there for 5 days, then come home. And to me, I think if you're going all that way, you need to stay longer in Hawaii and do a couple of islands. So I think you had the right idea to do a couple of islands. Though I would say you need an extra day on the Big Island.
Okay. My bank manager is crying at this moment in time. I haven't heard this already. That was before we even started.
I'm thinking this might be two separate trips.
Well,
One to San
do you know
Francisco
what?
and
I think that's a
Disneyland,
good
and one
idea.
for Hawaii.
I think
That's how I would
think
do
it
it
should
too,
be two separate trips. I think you should do a couple of days, maybe in San Francisco, then fly to Hawaii, spend most of your trip in Hawaii and different islands, spend a couple of days on your way home via Disneyland, and then home. And that's what we did on this trip. The trip before, we spent a lot longer on the west coast of America and then just did a week or 8 days in Hawaii, and that wasn't long enough in Hawaii. So I would say two separate trips.
Are there international flights into Hawaii? Can you fly from London?
Not directly, no.
No. So you can fly via. So Hawaiian Airlines go via JFK. So you can fly to New York, and that was our plan on our way home. We were going to go from Oahu to JFK and then spend 2 days with my cousin and her husband in New York before we flew home. You can also you could combine Hawaii with Walt Disney World now, because you can fly directly from Orlando to Hawaii. So there are lots of options, but you can't fly direct. So you've got to go somewhere first.
We've always planned to go to sort of Anaheim and do Disneyland, and then we go to Hawaii, and then back to Disneyland, and then back home.
Because it's brutal like flying from Orlando to Hawaii. If you stop somewhere, it's a long flight, and it's a domestic flight, so you don't get the international upgraded experience that you get. It can be rough.
Yeah. Doesn't sound like fun.
No.
It doesn't sound like my kind of flight.
No, you should break it up if you can. I think the best flight I had was actually back from Honolulu. It was a Delta One flight that I had, and that was into Salt Lake City, and then Salt Lake City to Orlando, and that was actually better because I was able to sleep coming back. But it's a long flight. If from the East Coast, if you have to break it up, JFK, Orlando, whatever, if you're going from East Coast of the U.S. to the West Coast and then getting on another flight, it's going to be 5 to 6 hours each leg. So, and then that's after you've done your 8 hours from London, right? So, I would actually do you can do the 8 hour, because you can get to San Francisco in 8 hours from London. Sometimes longer. Depends. 10 hours, maybe 10 hours.
But it's about 11 hours.
Depends on whether the jet stream is working in your favor or not, or working against you or not.
True.
Yeah.
Usually go up and over the poles and down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you cut off some time that way, but
I feel that I like that way of breaking it up, because you do the big flight at the beginning and the end, and then you've only got the
little flights.
5 hours.
The your body clock adjustment.
Yeah.
Taking a stop somewhere that is 8 hours difference, and then to Hawaii is
a further 3 or 4. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels a bit easier doing that than just going all in one go straight to 10 hours difference.
All in straight there.
Yeah.
all in.
Welcome to yesterday.
You've got your time machine.
In terms of the experience you had in Aulani. Sorry.
I don't want to know what appeared on your computer screen.
No, neither do I.
I just Siri doing its thing. That wasn't helpful at all. Sorry, Ben. That's why I got very distracted. It's like things happening. Okay. So, in terms of the experience you had, you went to the Big Island, Robyn and Simon. Yes,
We did, yeah.
Did you go to other islands?
We did, yeah. We did 3 islands on this trip.
Okay.
So,
And Jason, have you been to other places other than Oahu?
Only Maui. Been to Maui.
Okay.
But not
Maui.
to the Big Island, not to Kauai.
Maui's like the green one, isn't it?
no, that's
I mean, they're all green.
I mean, they're all green.
I know they're all green, but you know what I mean. I mean, like the luscious vegetation and the freezing.
Maui is pretty lush too, although it's got some rugged coastline as well, and it's a golfer's paradise. Maui.
Oh, really?
And, oh yeah. Then
send
there's
John
the
and the
Rotohana,
boys.
which you can do, which is gorgeous. I think. I don't know. I think I've just always wanted to go to Kauai though too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kauai, from talking to locals on the last trip, that is the one that they suggest is the really green, lush one, where
the
actually
waterfalls.
most
The real Hawaii.
Kauai.
The Hawaii you
So
think of in your
Aulani-
mind when you think of Hawaii.
Yeah. So, but Aulani, as a Disney resort,
Yeah.
is on Oahu, and you fly into Honolulu, and how far is it from Honolulu Airport? It's like 25 minutes, if that.
Depending on the traffic, it depends on what time of day you fly in and how the traffic is. But you can make it. When I went to Aulani the second time, I was coming back from Maui, so it was just a little Southwest Airlines flight from Maui over to Honolulu, and arrived early in the morning. It was like the first flight out of Maui to Honolulu, and I think I must have made it there in 15 minutes. It was fast, real fast. But when I came the first time, we arrived kind of middle of the day. The traffic was much heavier, and so it probably took 25 minutes to 25, maybe 30 minutes to get there. But it's a gorgeous drive. I mean, it's you don't care. You're in Hawaii.
Yeah. Yep.
Time's less of an
amazing.
issue.
But I can tell you, I don't know how. I'm curious to hear how you guys felt about your arrival. When I visited Aulani the first time, and we drove up to it, I was disappointed immediately. I don't know. Maybe disappointed is too strong a word. It was not what I expected. I was expecting something like arriving to the Polynesian Village Resort. I was expecting tiki torches and the music and the I don't know. It's just that's what I was expecting. And you pull up and you're like, oh, this isn't that. It's nice. They're super friendly, and we can talk about all of the what it looks like and everything when you walk. It's gorgeous, but it's not this quintessential. It's not tiki.
No.
At all, right? It's very Hawaiian, and it's not until you visit. I think even of all Oahu, like it's not until you visit Aulani that you start to actually learn what real Hawaiian culture is meant it looks like, and why what we see at the Polynesian, for example, is not reflective at all of Hawaiian architecture and culture and that sort of thing. At least maybe in parts it is, but it's I don't know. How did you feel? Did you feel? Did you?
I think if you take the Polynesian resort as thinking that's what you're going to see.
Well, it's like a caricature, isn't it? It's like
it
is.
All of these elements of Polynesian culture, architecture, and just pushes it all together and says, there's a resort that is Hawaiian-esque. Yeah, that's what people think.
But I mean, saying that, when we were on the Big Island, we visited. I forget the name. Well, no, I don't forget the name. I'm not going to try and pronounce the name, but it was called the Place of Refuge, and it was like it's a sacred place, and it was very reminiscent of the Polynesian resort in Disney. So there was a lot of tiki, there was a lot of thatched roofs, that sort of thing, and so I think maybe it's a slight thing of Hawaiian how it used to be, whereas Hawaiian now is obviously moved forward. But
And you can find that like
That's
Waikiki
really-
Beach is a lot like that too. But Aulani goes out of its way to really represent Hawaiian culture as it is supposed to be represented, even down to the luau and that sort of thing. Like you have to just sort of set aside your expectations, and once you do that, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's amazing. So like the second time I arrived, I was just like, oh, I got like chills just seeing it again and smelling it again, and like,
yeah. I honestly cannot agree with you more. We came away after the first trip kind of going, yeah, Aulani was nice. And the second trip, we've come away going, oh my God, we loved Aulani.
It was like
We
not
really-
enough days. We
we-
actually changed our plans to spend just an entire day at the resort.
Yeah.
And we were just using the pool. And yeah, we were paddleboarding in the man-made bay areas.
with a lagoon. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Lagoon areas.
Ukulele lessons
Yeah.
that are amazing. Like I love that. It was so good. But it was the first time our own expectations and expectations that we've read online from other people who have been. I think I just had very, very high expectations, and it didn't quite match up to what I had in my head. But the second time, it exceeded those expectations, which is very strange.
It's weird, right? Isn't that strange? Yeah, and you kind of feel like you own
That
it
is
too. The
strange.
second time you go, you're like, "Oh, I'm home again." Like this is,
Yeah.
it's great to be back here. Hi, everybody. What you
Yeah.
been up to? It's like a family experience. You feel the cast members are incredible. I mean, if you think Disney Cruise Line best cast experience, yeah, no, Aulani, the cast member experience at Aulani, like that you have, the interactions you have, is unparalleled. But just based on my experience, like concierge level, Grand California, I don't care where it is. There's nothing like Aulani. Nothing like Aulani.
What makes it so much better? What sets it apart? Is it tangible or is it just a feeling?
Oh.
No, it's super tangible. I mean, it's there is this sense that people are genuinely happy to see you there, and they go out of their way to help you. It is very service oriented, but not in a false like, oh, we're doing this because we're paid kind of way. Like there's a level of authenticity to the hospitality there that I just have not found anywhere else. The people speaking multiple languages and just like something you would experience in Europe, I would like that you don't see in the States. But there's it's a so strangely like relaxed professionalism too, that everything is just so casual, so super casual, but at the same time professional and refined. I don't know. Simon, Robyn, what do you? I mean,
I totally agree with you.
It feels polished, but not in a we've tried really hard to make it this way. It just confidently is that. It's they just do it well there. I think if you go to Disney World now, I think for me a little bit of shine has gone off Disney World resorts. But being at Aulani, it was like it's right there. When you're there, you felt like this is kind of what I think of, classic Disney kind of.
I would liken it. I don't know if any of you have ever stayed at Disney's Vero Beach Resort. I would liken the cast members to Aulani cast members. I know at Vero Beach, most of the cast members there have been there forever. They love working there. When they tell you to have a nice day, you know that they really want you to have a nice day. It isn't just like, have a nice day. It's like, have a nice day. It's like, thank you. You too.
They just sound genuine. It's not.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and the cast members have great stories, especially the Americans. It's always fun if you go down to the what is it, the Alejo room downstairs, the bar and grill that turns into at night. They have the live music out on the lanai there. The bartenders there, like you talk to them about their story. They all have these interesting stories. Like, how do they end up in Hawaii? How do you end up working at a hotel, or at a resort in Hawaii? Everybody has this interesting story, and they're willing to share it. And I don't know. I think I don't want to say like, well, they're just nicer people, but there's a level of it's just they're authentically nicer. It's either
But
they're
if I
faking
lived
it
in Hawaii,
really
I'd be
well,
authentically
or-
nicer as well. Let's face it.
That is true.
But I think that is inherent in people that live there,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the pace of life is different, and
Yes. Yeah.
it's embedded in Hawaiian culture that you don't need to
Don't you rush
you don't need to
everywhere?
you don't need to rush everywhere, and you don't need to be trying to be the best and earn the most amount of money and be the top dog in everything you're doing. It's live to kind of
Work to live.
work to live.
Yeah, we really noticed that even on our first trip. There was definitely we felt the people work, like even down to one of the restaurants. He was like, "Oh yeah, I've got my surfboard out. When I finish here, I'm just going to go park
They
up."
work
and
the morning.
They work the morning till lunch, then they go surf in the afternoon. Like that is the life.
That sounds like a good plan.
It was just a different. I think it's a different way of life, and I think that is what makes the
Yeah.
difference. People are happier. They're not worked to the absolute bone. I don't think they certainly don't seem to
See,
be
I
absolute bone.
would be an absolute gem if I lived in Hawaii. Clearly, absolutely, yeah.
A sore thumb. What did you say? I think also the space itself lends its like this. There's so much story that's built into the space. So much. It's a new, it's a relatively new resort, but it feels like it has been there forever. It's set much more into the. Unlike its neighboring hotels, what's the Four Seasons, and then there's a Marriott on a couple lagoons down. There's it just kind of feels like it's more more fitting of the space, the geography. There's when Joe Rohde was a lead designer, project manager, whatever on the project, and he grew up in Hawaii. And it was very true to the culture and insistent on that. It's just really, I mean, and you can have that experience where you can learn a lot about the space, you can learn about a lot about the history and the culture, or you can just go to the beach.
Yeah.
Like there's no right way to do it.
Yeah.
You can
Every time I think of Aulani, I just think of just relaxation.
Yeah.
The lazy river.
Yes. The lazy river is very
the
nice.
Snorkeling that you can do in the the tank there, the lazy river. It makes Stormalong Bay look like junk.
Rubbish.
Yeah.
It really does.
Wow.
It's crazy how nice it is.
There's two slides there. There's a lazy river. Yeah, there's the snorkeling lagoon with the fish
There's
in.
the adults only hot tubs with the infinity edges overlooking the sunset.
Yes, you get a drink in your hand and you go out to oh, it's so nice. Oh, the infinity. Oh yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah.
And the spa. Wait, the spa is the Lenny. How do you pronounce this? Laniwa? Laniwai spa. Laniwai. Did you go to the spa?
How do you say it?
Don't ask me.
I don't know. No.
Have you been to the spa?
Do you know, I had a treatment booked, but we ran out of time to do everything, so I ended up cancelling my treatment.
Oh my gosh. So you
That means you have to go back.
Yes.
You haven't
Well, there you
experienced the
go.
hotel. The spa there, you need a day just to experience the spa. So you have access to the spa, like all the facilities. If you have any treatment done, you have access the rest of the day to the area, and it's amazing. Especially I have an outside area. They have all these different types of showers. Like you just try all these different types of showers. They have a plunge pool. They have hot tubs. They have the steam rooms. They have the saunas. They have it's like, oh my gosh. And
it feels like this call now is just descending to us debating about our next trip there. And
it's so nice. But the other thing, I don't know how many days. What's the max number of days that you have spent at Aulani?
We did 6 nights. 6 nights.
Oh, that's a good stretch.
Yeah, good because you can go, and I know people that have gone and they've stayed in Aulani and they have never left Aulani. They fly over, they just enjoy the resort, and there's nothing wrong with that. But as someone like myself who is just obsessed with Hawaii in general, I really like to have a car and leave and explore some more of the island.
And there's an Alamo rental car right there on property.
Well, do you know
Right there.
Oh wow, that's good.
we picked it up at the airport actually, but yeah, you
can rent a car right there, and just for the day.
that's
We've
really
done that. We
handy.
rented a Jeep and just went out and
That's so
drove all
handy.
around. Drove up to the north side to the where the surf, all this crazy surfing is happening. Where you see the waves, and I remember you go up there and you look at it. What's it called? The North Shore, I think, or something like that.
North Shore, yeah.
And you see the waves, and you're like, this isn't what I remember. Like this isn't that impressive. And then you're like, wait, what's that out there? And then you see that, oh, that's a person. Oh, that's a person. That wave is like 10 times the size of that person. Like then it's all this. It's perspective, right? It's a weird kind of perspective. You need the reference point to actually appreciate how big they are. And you're like, what are they doing out there? That's crazy.
They've got all the food trucks up there as well. We always like to take a stop at the food trucks. And
the original Gilligan's Island is there.
We've been there.
Oh yeah, if you
that
go
doesn't translate.
No.
Oh, so you need to look that up, Gilligan's Island. Oh, you'll thank me later. Gilligan's Island's there. Right across the street. Here's the other thing. Right across the street from Aulani, there's like a little, a little village that has restaurants and some shopping and so forth. Koalina something. There's a little market over there. It's like a little grocer that
ABC.
Yeah, it's like a chain, right?
Yeah.
Island
best poke I've ever had was from the deli case there. Like incredible. It's crazy. And so if you're staying in a place, if you're a DVC member or you're staying in a DVC type room and you have like a little kitchenette or something, you can buy your groceries there, bring them back. There's a restaurant over there called Monkey Pod, which I love. Absolutely love that place. I don't know. It's just I could spend
the food at Aulani, the food on property at Aulani is actually really good.
The poke bowl there, you had a poke bowl, didn't you? That you adored. He loved it so much. He went back the next day.
I went back the next day because they do just make your own poke bowl. You just pick what you want in it, and then they just load the bowl up and give you the chopsticks, and away you go.
The food right there in the Alejo room is really good. Just at the bar is really good. The Ama Ama is the restaurant down by the water, which is just kind of like the nicer restaurant.
We ate there on the first time we went.
It's just reopened. While we were there, they were testing it, but now it's even more expensive. It's a set menu, and I think it's like well over $100 each now.
It's still cheaper than Monsieur Ball. That
and California Grill
and Tequila
right,
and Victoria Velvets.
What else is there?
You can't go to Hawaii and not have a spam musubi as well.
And in Disney, they do a Mickey shaped
spam musubi.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay.
And then there's the
Really?
luau. I've never done the luau for real. I've seen it happening, but we didn't go to the luau. There's a luau just north of. What is that called? It's like really kitschy Paradise Cove. Yeah, it's like the classic 1950s Elvis style. You know.
Yeah.
We've done it. We've done it twice.
We did have a different one booked, and the one that we had booked decided as it was going to slow season, they were going to stop having shows twice a week. And it was the only night that we could go with our friends that were going to be in Aulani. And all the other luau's were so much further away that we ended up just going back to Paradise Cove, and it was really good. We really enjoyed it second time, but it's right. You can walk to it from Aulani, and if I'm saying you can walk to it, you really can walk to it.
And what a lot of people don't, you can also walk down to the nature preserve area where they have there's an area that's preserved for the sea turtles. And you can walk there. A lot of people don't realize you can walk there, but you can, because it looks like Four Seasons is in the way. But all beaches in Hawaii have public access. Yeah. There are no private beaches in Hawaii, period. So you have to access of some sort has to be provided to all beaches. So you can walk down kind of along the edge of the Four Seasons and through a little gate area, and you get these looks from these people like, you don't belong here. Like, I know, but so what? And then it's gorgeous, especially go down there during sunset. It's amazing. It's amazing, and there's usually like a ranger there that you can talk to and learn about things. And what's the buffet called? Is makahiki?
Oh yeah, no, it's makahiki,
Okay.
something
Yeah,
like that.
makahiki. So they do a breakfast buffet. One of my favorite things to do
Oh yeah, it's
is
not a
to go
buffet now. They have
go
got,
to
yeah.
the because I'm not a big breakfast person, but like get some coffee and go down to the landing off the lobby, and you're gonna sit out there, and it's just beautiful, and you can hear the character, like the interactions and stuff, and the kids are having a great time down there and getting their breakfast and stuff. That's a lot of fun, and at night it's a good buffet. It's a solid buffet.
Well, yeah, it's still not a buffet at the moment though.
Was not.
Since pandemic. No, we had breakfast there, and it was
Was
a
it
set
good?
price, and you ordered. Oh my goodness, it was so good,
good.
and the characters were incredible.
They have
did have
what I forget they call the woman that comes out and does
ukulele
this.
player lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was walking around singing and
That
And Mickey will show up.
that Goofy as well.
Goofy,
Chef Goofy.
they had Chef Goofy, and he would come out for photos as you came in, but then he would
Okay.
go back as if he was cooking, and he was obviously making a mess of it.
That was
And
brilliant.
I-
We sat watching it because it was just hilarious. Yeah, it was so funny.
Some
You could think,
sitcom
well,
going
we're
on.
just having fun. The guy, Goofy plus the photographer there and the handler were just having a laugh.
He was
And it
like
was-
tossing
It was like
Very
it's very
good.
Hawaii does
Disneyland,
40 towers.
yeah.
You'll find Mickey. Mickey just kind of walking down the path in his Hawaiian outfit, like his vacation outfit, just walking around.
Going to the pool.
Like
There
what?
are characters there, like
All
day.
all day, every day.
They
There
just
are
have groups
characters.
of characters out.
That's so
And
funny.
who's the turtle they have?
Oh,
Is it
Olu
Olu.
Mel. Yeah,
Olumel, yeah.
he's a friend of Duffy apparently.
He is.
Uh,
And his name was Olu. So I asked the cast member what the story was, and his name was Olu. And Mickey and Minnie found him playing his ukulele. And Minnie said he played it so beautifully he should be known as Olumel, as in melody. So that's why his name's Olumel.
okay. But he's one of Duffy's friends.
He's one of Duffy's friends,
yeah.
yeah.
We
The
don't
turtle.
talk about Duffy.
Duffy and Mickey were sailing the islands to find Shelley May a birthday present. Happy music led them to a cozy cove. Aloha, I'm Olu. I play my ukulele to make songs of love. Want to sing with me? Olu strummed a beautiful song. That will be the perfect present. At her birthday party, they all sang their special song for Shelley May. It's a little thing that comes along with the plushes when you get a little plush.
That's cool. That's
Shelley
cute.
May. Yeah.
I can. Is he on your shelf somewhere? Or
Yeah.
not?
Oh yeah, he's back.
Cool.
He's like back there next to a big old
Yeah,
chicken.
next to the big little chicken.
Chicken.
Yeah, that's him. He's got his little hat on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's some unique things about Aulani that you don't get anywhere else, clearly, and that's from customer service all the way through to character interaction. Did you go outside of the resort and travel around the island? And is that worth doing? Or if you'd spent if you spend all that time and money getting there, do you max out your time in Aulani?
I think it depends.
I think
there's no wrong. There's no right or wrong.
I agree. You choose what you want to do. I suppose it's like saying paying all the money to go on a Disney cruise that goes around the Caribbean. Do you waste time getting off to see the islands, or do you just stay on the ship?
Yeah.
I suppose it's a little similar. I would say it's a good idea to do a bit of both. Spend a few days just at Aulani. Spend a few days going out and seeing some more of Hawaii. That's what I would say. Go to the North Shore, see the big waves, see the turtles, eat some food trucks. Go to Kualoa Ranch because that's where that's a huge film movie set.
Go to the Kona Brewery.
that was on the Big Island,
Yeah.
Kona Brewery.
Kona Brewery's main place in the Big Island.
Yeah, that's the
as
Big
long as-
Island,
as long as
that
you're
one.
on the Big Island. But,
Simon enjoyed that.
Yeah, Kona beer is good.
It's the best. It's the best.
Yeah.
All of it.
But yeah, I think if you're interested in Hawaiian culture and seeing Hawaii, I think you kind of have to get out of the resort a bit. But it depends what your if you're going because you want to see Aulani and you're not that bothered about Hawaii, then yeah, sure, stick around the resort. But I think there's a lot to see. Even this last trip, we actually said that we would stay longer next time we go to Oahu.
And the first time we said we probably wouldn't. The first time we were like, "Oh well, I've done Oahu. Probably wouldn't stay here again." But for the fact that we can stay for free in Aulani with our DVC points.
Yeah.
Whereas this time we feel like actually I'd like to go back to Aulani and I'd like to go back to Oahu.
I want to see more on Oahu this time.
Yeah.
And we felt like we probably wouldn't go back to Maui next time.
Only because we've been twice to Maui now, and we would like to visit some of the other islands and we'd like to spend more time on the Big Island.
But Oahu stuck with us as being, we'd probably want to do more time there next trip. And it wasn't
There's so much
it wasn't
to see.
for Aulani. It was, we saw a bit more of Oahu and it felt more familiar. And I think it was, we saw things that we think, I think we'll want to come back here because we want to do that next time. And I don't think we felt that way about Maui. It was more like, I don't know what. There's only so many times you can drive the road to Hammer. If you've driven it twice, you've probably you've seen everything the road to. Other than going back because you want to eat banana bread and drink Coke.
That sounds great.
That's not a bad idea.
But sure, if you want to pay $25 for a coconut just for the drink.
Made the mistake of side of the road saying, "Oh yeah, we'll have a coconut. Why not? Has he got any straws? No, we have to just drink from it. Okay, how much is it?" After he'd already carved it was $25. We were like,
You won't do that one again.
Hawaii is not cheap. It's nothing. It's not cheap. Nothing is cheap.
Nothing is cheap. A pack of butter in the supermarket is $5.19 at the moment. And with the exchange rate being 1-to-1, that's basically basically like £5.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
If you want a pineapple, you can get a pineapple for like $3. So
See, you don't like pineapples, so I don't know how you would cope in.
That's it. That's
Pokey.
it, Becca. You can't go to Hawaii.
Yeah.
They won't let you in.
That's it.
Go to Aulani and just relax a few days.
Strangely enough, it's too sweet.
What, pineapple?
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't
Some
like
people just don't like nice things.
Pair it with alcohol. You'd be fine.
Which is odd for me because I've got a really sweet tooth and I can eat really sweet things, but pineapple is kind of a sticky sweet.
I feel like you need to try one if you do go, though. Only because I can taste the difference of a Hawaiian pineapple that's been recently picked versus what we have here.
And we don't really get Hawaiian pineapples over here because they just don't travel that far.
Yeah.
No.
But they have specific types that I think they're even called like the Royal Hawaiian type, which just taste slightly different.
Yeah, they do taste different. So
I think if we're going all that
you
way,
can get a pineapple and I'll have it.
You can try it.
there you go. That works. Try a bit and go, I don't like it. You can have it.
You just need to start writing the list down. You need to eat spam musubi. You need to
Pineapple.
eat with the plum. What do they call that? Healing.
Yeah.
Which is like a plum powder that they put on fruit there as well.
Okay.
I mean, I like plums,
Interesting.
so...
Okay. Drink Mai Tais.
And the Dole Whips. They have Dole Whips?
Yeah.
Dole Whip. If you go
Home
to the
of Dole Whip, aren't they?
Yeah, love Dole Whip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, it sounds like Hawaii, but particularly Aulani is a resort to really go and embrace the pace, which is slow and chilled, and enjoy everything that you can find only there.
Yeah.
Sounds like quite a unique place, and you know what? We had it on the list for a reason. It's still there.
I would say it has a faster pace than the other islands, though. It does. It feels more American than the other islands. The other islands that we visited are a little less built up, less spoilt, and more Hawaiian. What you think Hawaii is in your head? Think Moana.
Yep.
The other islands are a little bit closer to that than Oahu. Oahu is definitely more of a more built up island.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
if
You do get it on Maui. Like Maui's got a distinct bit on near where we stayed that is like heavy golfing resorts.
Yeah.
And, a lot of very, very expensive houses on that particular part of the island. But there's a lot of spoiled parts of Maui. But I think the Big Island still that out of all of it felt more
like Hawaii.
more Hawaiian and a bit more like that's where a lot of the economy is in terms of like their farming is done on the Big Island.
Yeah.
More so than the others, really. But yeah, you kind of get that vibe when you're there. There's big parts we drove through on the Big Island where it's like there's no grocery stores. You're just driving for miles, and it's like, well, this is just farmland here.
Yeah.
Or just black lava rocks.
Yeah, there's a lot
Just
more
lots of miles of
rock,
black
miles and
lava
miles of that
rock,
on the
which
Big
is
Island.
very cool.
It is volcanic still.
Yeah, it is. It was I don't know what your plans were when you go to the Big Island, Claire, but when we go back, we split our time. So we stayed on the west side in Kona, which is where the Kona Brewery factory is. And then we went round to the Volcano Island and Volcano National Park. Sorry. And next time we probably would just stay there because it was so incredible. Seeing the active lava and doing some of the hikes, which they're very easy hikes.
And we would probably stay in Hilo as well next time. So we stayed in Kona, and flew into Kona, and then drove round to the national park, and then we flew out of Hilo to Oahu. Yeah. But we would probably do the stay down at the Volcano National Park and Hilo next time.
Yeah.
Because like the airports are like nothing you've seen is like
a shed.
Yeah,
it really is. It's not the shed that doesn't have walls.
I've seen pictures of it. It's
the ceiling.
When you arrive in Kona, it's almost like there's nothing to the airport. You get off the plane, it's like there aren't any walls or anything. It's just like a doorway that opens through into more open air space.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah, all the check-in desks are all basically outdoors, and Hilo was even smaller. So Kona was slightly bigger, and Hilo was just the tiny. It was almost like there's nothing to this airport.
Private airfield, just a private airfield. Yeah. Okay, so final question: worth the effort to get there? Yes or no?
Oh God, absolutely, absolutely. It's the best place. Like Hawaii is the best place I've ever visited in my life. No question.
Wow.
The first trip we made, Hawaii's been somewhere I've wanted to go since I was a little girl. And the first trip we made, I cried at one point, at least, every single day, just because everything was so wonderful. I did, I know. I cried every single day we were there, just because it was all just wonderful. It really was worth it.
You have the bits that kind of sum up the trip. And it was like that first trip when we arrived on Maui. And we went down on the beach that afternoon when we were there, and 6 foot off the beach there was a turtle swimming past us in the waves on the beach, and it was like that stuff kind of always sticks with you. That's like
did that just happen?
Yeah, like a defining memory.
Core memory moment.
Core memory. The trip is full of core memories.
Yeah,
Jason, worth the effort?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
It's always the place culturally, I think, stuck with me the most. The pace of life was one that everybody could probably embrace, more that laid-back kind of way of life.
It's a bit European, though, isn't it? Yeah. It's a bit European, just a bit laid-back. No one's in a rush for anything. No one's going to rush for you, but no one expects...
It's a little bit Spanish.
Yeah.
So Aulani's always been on our list ever since we become DVC members. Yeah. Just because obviously the amount Disney have always pushed it, and it was like, I can't wait to make that first trip.
Yeah, you'll love it. Just do it.
Well, there you are. Just book it.
Yeah.
You know,
these past 2 shows are getting very expensive. I'm worried what's going to happen next month.
Let me introduce you to the Waffler Savings Plan.
Actually, here's the GoFundMe. You can pay for our next trip.
Right. Yeah, that's more like it. Yeah, definitely.
So I want to say a huge thank you to Simon, Robyn and Jason for joining us for these past 2 shows. They've been incredible. Are we all looking at planning that next trip to whether it be San Francisco or Aulani?
Both. Always.
It's going to happen.
Always.
Claire, you going to make that trip?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
I can't wait to go. It's going to be so good. And Jason, did you want to tell people where people can find you from Here with the Magic?
It'd be my pleasure. Yeah, herewiththemagic.com. You go to, actually, the best place to go really to see everything is youtube.com/herewiththemagic, and then just have fun from there. And there's a lot of video from Aulani actually there, both traditional video as well as virtual reality video for those who have like Oculus devices or Meta devices, I guess we call it now. You can just kind of put on the headset and feel like you're there.
That's incredible.
What if there's a cheaper way instead of going to Aulani?
Maybe we should do that instead.
It's not a good replacement. No, it's not a replacement.
Buy a pineapple and put on your Oculus. You'll be fine.
We're heading to recession, but buy an Oculus, it's fine. And that's just a,
Yeah,
it's a cheaper
that's
way.
it. You're done.
Cake with Kona
Yeah.
beer, a couple of pineapples.
This is it.
You don't need to leave your house.
Yeah, you'll be well away.
Turn up
Yeah.
the heating.
Oh my goodness.
Simon and Robyn, where can people find you on socials and YouTube?
Oh, we're Watsons Do Disney. Search it anywhere, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. You'll find us. So yeah, thank you.
What I'll do, I'll put all the links in the description below. And I think there's just one thing left to say. Waffle on.
Well done.